Welcome to an episode of a show you've been watching for a long time and never chat on. War Hero to Superhero, helping military veterans and first responders transform their lives from the bedroom to the boardroom. Here is the beauty.
Hello.
And this is the sexy beast today because I'm wearing my red.
I like you in red.
Why? Thank you. So my name is Daniel. Her name is Michelle. And we are in the living room about gotta have fun. Yesterday was a heavy topic. It probably carried a lot of weight. You probably, in those barriers, built some walls. But today, and we're going to check comments in a second, we are bringing the hammer in, the Faust family. Thank you, Mike.
The Faust family, yes.
Thank you.
Nice to see you
We need
here.
to go back on the banners. We're going to talk about today about breaking the barriers. I'm going to give you a little story about smashing the dollhouse. So obviously this is a hammer, and I got to be really cautious with it because I want to be active and like swing it around, but I'll break my screen.
That would be very sad. I love
So
our
my children went over and had these dollhouses.
the LOL dollhouses.
I'm getting there. They had dollhouses in there, and they just didn't use them. And we have more comments. You can check them. Comments. All right. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll show the comments at the end. Banners, please.
Woo, there it is.
Okay. So this little hammer was a beautiful thing because they said they wanted to get rid of the dollhouse because it was taking too much of their room. So I said, Faye, we can go smash it. She's like, oh, really? Yeah.
She got so happy.
So we got to go over and smash the dollhouses with this and an axe. We had an axe. Well, it's not a true axe. It's like one of those little mini axes and stuff like that. So the fun thing about smashing a dollhouse is you go over and it breaks it down into small little pieces. The same thing goes over and happens with barriers because, whoops, I'm clicking stuff for funnies. Breaking things is easy, but breaking barriers is hard, right? Well, if you have the right tools, you can go over and do that. So we're bringing the hammer to help. The hammer, come on. If you're going to steal the hammer, you got to do the visual. All right. Yesterday was about barriers to fun, and probably that wasn't fun because nobody really interacted. So hopefully you were mourning inside about your barriers or wrestling with them and everything else. But today is tactic days to break
The barriers.
You got the hammer. Break the walls down. We're still learning on these little nuances of how to trigger one another when trying to do stuff because this was kind of planned out but impromptu at the same time. So we're going to jump into breaking barriers. So every time I say breaking barriers, break out the hammer. All right. Breaking barriers number one. Not my face. Didn't say breaking faces. The first way to go over and break these barriers, as we talked about yesterday, no matter if it was like your barriers on connecting for fun was either yourself or personality clashes or everything else, is first to remove the fear of failure. You might think that you go over and fail because you might not connect with the person right. You might think that you're not going to go over and do the fun event right, or the teen years are going to be really complicated. So instead of going over and failing our children on fun, we don't have fun at all. How do you go remove the fear of failure? You have to get through here. One of the great acronyms of fear is first attempt in life. You might go have a kid that likes Minecraft and you hate video games. You might have a kid that goes over and is an emo kid and you're the outgoing parent, or maybe you're the emo parent and your kid's the outgoing person. And first attempt in life, where we don't usually be successful the first time you get out here. Been doing this on the lives for years, did radio. My wife can attest to that, driving 2.5 hours. And even with connecting with all my kids, it's not like the first time I went over like, that's awesome, I'm perfect. So what we want you is not to go over and fail, is we want you to sail either second or subsequent attempts in life when you continually try to get up. When you're, let's say, coaching your kids in a baseball game or a basketball game, they don't go over and get up and shoot the ball and perfect every time. Those are anomalies. Even Michael Jordan had to practice. I know it's kind of an old reference. Kobe Bryant, whoever else has gone over and played sports. Wayne Gretzky, he's really old now, so he doesn't play.
Anyone who is really talented and has mastered their sport, guaranteed you failed. I mean, even working in a kitchen, because that's my wheelhouse is kitchen. Usually every first time a chef makes something or a home cook makes something, it's a fail. It's usually a burner because you don't have the experience and you're learning. Like, just because you are not successful the first time you do something does not mean you have failed. It means that it's the first time you've tried.
Yep. So the same thing is going to happen in parenting and trying to bring fun into the living room on a regular basis. You might go over and botch it. We watched The Chosen for 4 episodes, and it was still, they had an overall quote unquote fun time, but even like I probably botched them a little because they kept doing commentary, and I'm like, this ain't commentary time. So I probably failed in that regard. For them, it's like, if I watched for 3 hours and they just babbled the entire time, it would have been fun for them, and I would have been bashing my head. So I'm going to continue again a second time and a subsequential time in life. So jumping out of that fear and going over and trying. So that's number 1. Breaking barriers, number 2. Swing. Inch by inch is a cinch. Yard by yard is hard. So if you're the type of personality style like me, you go over and you're like, you don't want to go really jump into something that's super complicated. And sometimes you might think like going over and having fun in the household based on your barriers might be really complicated. It might be really complicated to break those personality clashes. It might be really complicated to go fill in the blank what it is. Maybe really complicated to go adjust your schedule. But start it inch by inch. Maybe instead of leaving at work when you're done work, you schedule a time to leave so you have that fun time with the kiddos and say, all right, I'm only going to work until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or when the sun sets. And hopefully it's winter, so you cut off a few minutes per day, because during the summer, you're going to be adding minutes per day. So that's another way to go over and to do that. Let's go jump into the next one. Breaking barriers, number 3. You forgot the hammer.
Oh.
We're still working. All right. We're going to let Wifey take breaking barriers, number 4. All right. Because this is her realm on that one. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You ever heard that back in the 90s? Another way to go over and to break those barriers of personality clashes and connections or the teen years or anything else is taking an internal check on yourself, because you might be just, if you don't look on how you're doing, you might wreck yourself in the relationships that you have with your kids and the legacy you're going to be carrying. So doing like an internal mess inventory, checking yourself, why am I struggling with these barriers? Is it a mental issue? Is it an emotional issue? Is it a social issue? Is it a spiritual issue? If it's one of those things that are inhibiting you, you maybe need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's another way to breaking barriers.
Absolutely.
So breaking barriers, number 4. And she's going to take it this time. I'm going to take the hammer. Let it go.
Careful.
It's okay. We're swinging everywhere.
All right. Taste is only 90 seconds. Doubt is short too. Basically, that means when you eat something, the taste on your tongue usually lasts around 90 seconds, unless you eat something like egregious, like a hot pepper, but normally 90 seconds. Mm-hmm. The same thing is when you have doubts, those doubts are only going to last for so long. You just need to push through and do the action anyways and see what happens. Don't assume something is going to fail. Don't assume that you're going to be unsuccessful, because I've had things in my life that I assumed were going to be unsuccessful. And it turns out I was actually really good at, like, really, really better than even he was at that job. So yes, 90 seconds, push through if you have a doubt, because you don't know how that is going to turn out.
And how are we tying that to the living room?
With what we do with the kids in the family. That's what we're trying to get. You tie it. I don't know what's in your head.
So you might have doubt breaking that barrier of, all right, I really got to connect with that kid that's awkward. I really go over and doubt that I'm going to get through the teen years and have fun. I'm really going to go over and doubt that I'm going to, whatever that barrier that
I think it's
blocking.
Doubt getting through the teen years. Doubt.
No, it's okay.
I know.
It's only 6 years. That's it. It's only 1/3 of their lives. But doubt only lasts short term. Mm-hmm. Once you start like doing anything in life, you work through it. Even if it's inch by cinch, you'll get easier. And then you realize, if you reflect on yourself, you're like, wow, that was a lot easier. Mm-hmm. You ever gone on a date or gone over and, let's say, go out with your kids on a place and whatnot, or maybe go zip lining with your wife or whatever it is?
We've done that.
That doubt is really short. It was over. Even though it was an hour going on zip lines, it was over. It's the same thing with my son, like going and taking him a drive. Yeah, it's gonna, am I gonna have a personality clash? Potentially. But, and I might doubt that I'd be successful and actually connect and have fun. But doubt only lasts short term. Once you're usually in the mix, the doubt usually goes away. It's when we put it in front and we say, we can't do anything. We'll never be able to break barriers.
When you allow that doubt to stop you and you get frozen in that doubt and you don't act, that's when you run into issues.
So breaking barriers, number 5. Hammer. Oh,
I know.
So anybody
Such a bad co-host.
gonna have to hire somebody. If anybody wants to be a co-host
no.
to go over and to deal with my randomness, you'll have to be flexible. You're gonna have to look like her, be like her. You're gonna have to be absolutely perfect like her. So she might be the only one.
Totally redeemed yourself there.
That's it. So that's all I got. So breaking barriers number 5. Hammer.
Oop. I was reading it.
Guys, put the comments in. Tell her to go ka-ching or something.
Ka-ching.
Glean off other parents for wisdom bombs. And if anybody uses this hashtag, I'm not trying to steal. It's just a good one. So thank you for creating that hashtag. When I say glean off other parents, glean is an old word. It's a farming word. It's basically taking off stuff from up the ends. They used to do that in farms. Like if something wasn't collected, the people that were poor and everything else, they could take that off. So animals glean too. Kind of like the birds, they glean off the different plants and the extra. So what I mean by glean is there's other parents that might have awesome ways to go over and help you break those barriers, go over in ways to have fun. They might have that wisdom bomb and say, hey, suck it up, buttercup, go do what they're doing and do that once a week. And then over time, you'll break through and then actually have fun with that. It's the same thing with my wife. It's like, I hated comedy. Now, I don't love it, but I've learned to tolerate it and to like it. And that's the same thing with your kids. You can find some other wisdom from other parents to go over and to collectively start having that fun. It might be a suggestion, it might be an idea. They might say, hey, go do these team buildings or whatever it is. And then that might give a great opportunity to go over to do that. So that's breaking barriers number 5.
Got it.
Breaking barriers number 6.
Swing.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm swinging it.
Swinging it that way. Just because the camera looks that way. Go.
Would you swing?
This one's blatantly obvious, but I'm going to remind you, use the internet. There is a lot of wisdom on the internet. Now, you're going to have to go over and filter. I would highly recommend going over and maybe go to a book called Boundaries. That might be helpful. Going over and maybe parents that go over and wrote books and blogs and whatnot. Maybe it's TV shows like this that will be airing soon on Legrity Media. Maybe it's going over and reading a magazine, a digital magazine, or going over and just finding locations to go over and see how they integrate the fun to break through those barriers. A lot of team building stuff and team building events go and do that. There's even events that sons and daughters can go on and everything else. There might be Christian retreats and camps and whatnot, but the internet has a lot of these resources. You're watching on the internet right now. So instead of going over and streaming hours on it, in which that might be the thing to break the barrier, but use the internet because there's many different things you can go find out. Did you know for Minecraft that you can host a server for $3.99 to $49.99 a month and start making money and maybe take that entrepreneurial opportunity and then connect with your kids, especially if they love Minecraft, YouTube. So use the internet. Go over and do that research. I don't have the website, so we'll endorse them later if they ever come to us. Breaking barriers number 7.
Swing.
Now we got it.
I go in the right direction.
That was a weak swing. Take my head off 1 minute and not even take off a
You
bug.
were safer this time.
I was safer. Get some accountability from your partner. Some partners, like others, might be more outgoing compared to reserved. Some parents might be more people-oriented compared to task-oriented.
He's doing that motion because it's true.
It's true.
For us.
So the parents, if you're one of those parents that are reserved and task-oriented or reserved and people-oriented, which is more of your sweet style and your cautious style, fun might be really hard to have for you.
Yeah.
And if you didn't learn that, like Michelle talked about yesterday, she didn't learn or experience that. We get our values more getting caught than taught. Anything else? You go over and just like I caught these eyebrows from my grandfather, values go over and happen.
And I didn't get enough from my
your grandfather?
Yeah.
Sorry, Grandpa.
I keep trying to borrow some from you, but you don't share.
There you go. Here's 3. I gave them.
So
you can get some accountability from your partner to go over and do that measures and metrics. Like, hey, have I been a fun parent this week compared to just a strict beep, 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 and vice versa? Was I not being strict enough and balancing that fun? So maybe your partner is that vector check, like on maybe that Sunday meeting or whatever, or you go connect. We used to do that with our father-in-law. We used to vector check each other and go over and say like, you were sucking wind this week. And I'm like, what wind was I sucking? Because Dover has so much of it, So maybe going over and doing those vector checks and saying like, hey, have I been a fun enough parent? And then usually the parent that's more at home can really tell you if you're not fun. I had that for years. you're only fun when you're out compared to when you're at home. I'm like, yep, you're right. I'm outside the home. The home stresses me out, which was another barrier. I wasn't fun at home.
No.
And then I didn't become fun at all. Now, am I the best? No. Am I better?
Yes.
Good.
But
She picked up that line.
But no, but I think we've switched roles because now you're more the fun dad and I'm more the disciplinarian, and now I need to go back to being the fun mom. But fun, seriously, is stressful to me, and I'm not saying I don't know. Like fun should be stress, not stressful. But when the kids want to have fun, they tend to want to be really messy. They want to pull stuff out. They want to do things that create more work. Like the kids think cooking in my kitchen is fun, but then they're making things way harder for me, and then it's just stressful. So, I mean, I'm just saying that I'm on this. I mean, I've ridden the struggle bus when it comes to.
You've ridden the struggle bus?
Oh, yes, struggle bus. It's a thing. So basically, I cannot take this seriously. Stop. So I'm just saying that it can be a challenge to have fun, but having your accountability with your spouse, your partner, to say, hey, you're not being very fun right now. You need to drop your expectations. You need to say, hey, it's okay for the kids to make a mess.
Row that boat.
It's okay for you to have a little more work for the evening, and it could, for the benefit of your kids. Mm-hmm. And then within that, then having fun in that. But yes, I struggle with this because it's just stress inducing for me to, have, more things. So
we pass the baton on.
Thank you.
All right. Going into breaking barrier number 8.
Yes, we did.
We shall thank the person that gives a heart, because now we can be told on that. LaToya Walker, thank you for the heart. And she will be eventually TV host too. Mm-hmm. And if you're not LaToya, let's talk. Mm-hmm. All right. Breaking barrier number 8. You did it again.
Yes.
Whoa.
I was thinking
you in the swing. Ah! LaToya, you might need to give me an ER badge. Whoa.
Can we have a helmet somewhere?
I am not putting on a helmet. I'll go wear your German sew kit before I do that.
Yes.
So breaking barrier number 8, social media challenge. Sometimes accountability with your partner is sometimes not enough. And you might have a good collective community on Facebook, and you might say, hey, I'm going over and struggling being a fun parent and a fun person and everything else. I'm going to do a 5-day fun challenge, and I want you to hold me accountable. We have another heart. Wow. Yay. By Leslie Klein from the Good Vibes, and another Legrity media person. So this is awesome. We are growing. So social media challenge, going over and saying like, hey, I don't want to be the 8 blah blah dad. I want to be the fun dad. Can a bunch of dads go over and keep me accountable? I'm going to do this for the next 5 days, and come join me in this challenge, and we'll be a fun parent and whatnot. So maybe a social media challenge that you go put out. Maybe we'll put that out as a post, and we'll lead the track.
We need to do that challenge.
All right, we're doing that challenge. So we're going to do that next week, starting on Monday. We're going to go over and be fun parents for 7 days, and then we're going to collapse and die. Put in the comments
all the work.
Put in the comments if you want us to do 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days. Mm-hmm. If you don't put in the comment, we're not going to be as fun. We're only doing 3 days. If you put it in the comment, we'll see what the most votes are on. So if you're watching now, put in the comments 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days. Mm-hmm. And we'd love for you to join us on our social media challenge on how to be fun parents. So we're going to go learn this model, and then we're going to live out this model, and then you can go over and do that with our
the subjects we cover on our when we come on here. We haven't arrived. We're still working through this, just like everybody else who's watching this. We're not. Yeah, everybody else. We're still humans. We still have issues. We're still growing, and you're still being crazy.
Yep, every day. So take that challenge from us, which we will start on. We're going to start on Monday.
Yeah, Monday's a great day.
Because if we're going to go do something that might challenge us, at least we're already moaning on Monday. Monday. Wednesday's going to be hump day. I'm not sure how rough it's going to be. All right. Breaking barrier number 9. Go slow when I dodge.
I did.
Prayer and meditation. Mm-hmm. Prayer can go over and get your mind focused with God. Meditation, spiritual, whatever direction you go over and go. It definitely goes over and helps breaking those barriers, because sometimes we need some outside intercession to go over and deal with stuff. Our spouses can be great. Social media can be okay or fantastic, depending on, who you have on social media and who you're connected with. But prayer and meditation gets that outside perspective, outside yourself, to go over and connect with God, connect with spirit, connect with nature, whatever direction you go, goes over and do that. There's some great apps. There's Abide. There's a great app on that from the Christian side. And there's also another app from another side. I'll just balance this out right here real quick. Hold on, checking the phone.
I know if you have VR, that has something called Supernatural, and it's a workout VR, but they also have a meditation piece that you can go into the little meditation things. It's really fantastic.
And all those people can become sponsors. Supernatural, Abide, or where's my other one? Oh man, why can't I find it when I need it?
That's how life goes.
Of course. I guess they don't want to be sponsored because I can't find it on my phone. No, I'm kidding.
We'll put it down in the
Elevate is another learning app that you can go meditate in there. And there's one more. Come on. What? It's hiding on me. I'm going to find it.
You're gonna find
if anybody knows it.
You're going to find it later.
Yeah, find it later. Yep.
But anyways, meditation is really, really important to clear your mind and de-stress and just
balance. That's the one.
Is that it?
Balance is the other. So balance is more of a spiritual one. Abide's more of a Christian one. So those are the two that I go over and like. Balance gave like a year membership for free right now. So Abide goes for like free for minimal, and then it's like $30.99, and you can actually even gift, meditation in there. There's also one that Matthew McConaughey does with like sleep or something. I don't remember that one. I downloaded it, but it was more money and I was broke at the time. So it didn't say anything like that, but I just, it was a great app, but Matthew McConaughey actually made me sleepy. So he did what he had to do. So come on, you can't be like, all right. He didn't say that, but he has that voice, So prayer and meditation. And our last one, breaking barriers number 10, the slowest barrier breaking in the world. Read, listen, and watch. The reason why I say that is because some people are old school and go over and do some great readings with some books, paper or digital, that you might go over and find some ways to break your barriers. It's not like we have every single answer known to man. We don't. We take the best of the best and then we go over and do that. And if it's things personally in our lives, we go over and share that. And if it's things that we've gone over and developed, like the mess inventory, I was like, wow, that was like a real whoosh. Yeah, we got it on life.
Yay!
All right, let's see what you gave. All right. Ginger and Dave. I would love for you to be our sponsors because we already sell your shirts. Not this one because, but Urban Outfitters, I love your brand, just so you know, if you got any more polos. I'm a brandologist. All right, so you can go over and read books like Dr. Gary Chapman's 5 Love Languages. You might find out like there's ways in love to go over and connect to break those barriers. You might go read The Disc Model Human Behavior to break those personality clashes. You might go read, you don't want to read Body and Soul. That was for the bedroom last week, but
it's a good book.
It's a good book, but not wrong room. So, and then you can go listen to podcasts like us. So you can go over and listen to it audio on Heroes Media Group, or you can in any other military podcast. And then you can also watch stuff on Podopolo, the dynamic interactive podcasting app, or go watch Legarity Media that will have some great content of positively uplifting lives and communities. So you can go over and do that. And depending on the generation that you have, or if you're a blend of all three like I am, I read, I listen, and watch. I like reading subtitles. And if you're watching in the bathroom, you're probably doing subtitles because you don't want to be that weird.
Everybody does.
That's why YouTube put that in there and Facebook, but you can also listen and watch. So that's breaking barriers. The hammer's gone. I forgot the hammer.
Fine, you take it from now on.
Fine, take it from now on. It's okay. We'll learn this swinging thing. All right. So you've bared with us for 23 minutes and 50 seconds, which our normal episodes on War Hero Superheroes roughly about 25 minutes. So if you can't handle, we'll send snippets to you on YouTube. Superhero challenge of the day is to grab your hammer and start swinging away at walls, not people, not monitors, not keyboards, and everything. So you start swinging at the walls that are your mental, emotional, social, and spiritual barriers. Because once you start, just like the Dollhouse, you will want to stop because it gets so fun. It's sucks initially, but once you start breaking those walls and seeing that freedom, it's pretty sweet. And then you still have a hammer. So then you can go over and give it to your partner, and now they can swing at their walls. And sometimes you might work at it together. So that's the hope that we want to do, is for you both to do it together. Ow! I got almost a cutty on live. Little plastic.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a piece of plastic that stayed on there. Horrible. So again, grab your hammer, even though it hurts sometimes, and start swinging away at the walls. You can swing at our fictitious walls.
There you go. Green screen.
And once you, dang, that thing, no.
It kind of looks like it's going.
Yeah, you're going to take out our virtual walls.
I know.
And once you start, you won't want to stop. So that is this week. So Saturday is exciting. Saturday at 10 a.m. We are now going to go over and now empower you because you've gone through and worked through the barrier. You know your barriers, hopefully, and you've done that. And now you started swinging the hammer. Now we're going to actually talk about ideas of having fun. We're going to try to integrate a fun live in that particular regard. We might even do some giveaways. If you're looking for giveaways, put comments on there. We love to go over and do that. We'll do it to a certain amount. I'm going to say about $50 worth just for budgetary purposes.
And if you guys have something you would like to see us do in the name of fun, as long as it's rated G, it'll take your ideas. And if you don't give us ideas, well, then we'll make our own ideas. But I like to see some comments and some input on like what you guys would like to see. Like, do you guys want to see us play a game or do jelly beans or do the really bad ones?
That sounds like, oh, good. I was like,
you know,
didn't sound G
there's a lot
to
of,
me.
no, the Bean Boozled game, the one where you do the little spinner thingy and then you choose the jelly beans. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Please, nobody put that in the comments because that one sucks.
No, put it in there. Put it in there.
There's a lot of other fantastic, awesome things that we could do.
Yeah, Leslie or Latoya or Ginger, you can put them in the comments. So the two people watching, oh, we have War Hero Superhero Daniel Fastway. It shows my own feeds.
Weird.
Oh, from War Hero Superhero. Oh, someone's on Twitch and someone's on Facebook watching. Hey, we got some.
Hey.
So thank you for people on Twitch and Facebook going over and watching. So at least we know that we're sort of popular.
Yeah.
So again, we'd love to go over and connect with you. Again, the fun ideas will be on Saturday at 10 a.m. right before you get out for your day and go have your fun. We'll throw out those ideas, maybe do a fun challenge, maybe an ice bucket challenge, whatever it is. Again, you might see my wife.
We would be here.
You might see. Well, no, we can take it mobile, baby. We can take it mobile. We can take it mobile. So make sure I get a new waterproof case. All right. So again, we're gonna do our fun challenges. If you want any fun gifts and everything else, we're up to $50. So please go mention what you like because we don't want to just give away stuff and you're not wanting rando stuff. Maybe we should do mystery boxes.
Ooh, like a mystery box from War Hero Superhero.
There you go.
That would be fun.
We shall figure that out. All right, so thank you for going over and joining. And just so you know, one last thing. If you are struggling within the bedroom, the living room, or boardroom, 20 minutes is always free for your first time as a caller, military, veteran, or first responder. Please just go direct message us on our channels and everything else. We'll get back with you. If you're a Twitch watcher, thank you for watching. That one I don't get comments on, so connect with me on Facebook. I don't know why I don't get them, but yeah, love to go over and connect with you. And again, we'll see you Saturday at 10 a.m. to go over and to have some fun, maybe some mobile fun, so you'll actually see real trees and not fake furniture. So thank you all for watching.